Hotep, you guys. Welcome back to Matthew Daniels TV. I'm your host, Matthew Daniels, the writer, the author, the scribe, and the bookworm. But I'm not just a bookworm world. I'm the real bookworm. Make sure you get it right. And as always, may your name live on forever, and may your memory, family, never die. What I want to do for y'all today, I'm just going live, and I want to have a marathon of motivation for you guys. I'm just going to be playing a couple of my stories back to back to back for a little while, just to motivate, inspire you guys, to encourage someone out there to become the best version of themselves. So just sit back and enjoy this marathon of motivation. Hotel family, thanks for tapping in. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about the secret word of power. That's right, the secret word of power. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, in the land of Egypt, around 500 years after the gods and goddesses had left planet Earth, a young girl who was in training to become a temple scribe was practicing her craft by copying some scrolls she found in one of the temples. After completing one scroll, she went over to the wall to choose another. Finding one which she thought would suit her purposes, she took the long rolled up scroll from its place on the shelf and carefully sat down on her mat on the floor. She then blew off a layer of dust and began to unroll the scroll. As she did, there was a bright flash of a blinding light. When the young girl was able to see again, she saw the goddess Aset standing in the room with her. "Oh, great Neteru Aset," the young girl exclaimed, "I am sorry if I disturbed you." "Oh no, my child," Aset replied. "Do not be sorry. Be happy. The Great One, Amun-Ra, sealed me inside of that scroll over 500 years ago. I had made a snake which poisoned him so that I might learn the secret word of power. And this was my punishment. For freeing me, I will give you the word of power. Say this word whenever you are in a challenging situation, and you will have all the powers of creation assisting you to succeed." Then there was another blinding flash of light, and Aset was gone. The young girl looked down at the scroll, and there was only one word written. Astonished, the young girl snatched up the scroll and ran home. The next day, the young girl went to her teacher and said that she was ready to take her final exam to become an official temple scribe. Her teacher told her that her training was not yet complete, and if she took the test and failed, she would not be allowed to take the test a second time. For to be a temple scribe, one must perfect the craft. She assured him that she was ready. She then closed her eyes, said the word of power, and began the test. After finishing it in record time, her teacher confirmed that she had successfully passed the test. When he questioned how she had done this, she told him the story about Aset and showed him the scroll with the word of power on it. The teacher looked down at the scroll and smiled. "Do you want to know what that word means?" he asked, knowing it had not been used since the time of the gods. "Yes," the girl answered. The teacher grinned even bigger, pointed down at the scroll, and said, "Confidence." So, the morning motivation of today is the secret word of power. The secret word of power is confidence, family. Today, you are going to believe in yourself. Today, you are going to conquer. Today, you are going to succeed. No matter what obstacles you may face as you journey on your day, if you would simply say the secret word of power, confidence, confidence in yourself and confidence in your abilities, then you will overcome. Because you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great, and you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I just want to talk to you guys about to gain the whole world. That's right, to gain the whole world. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, there were three men traveling through the land that we call England today. And as they passed by the monument that we call Stonehenge, they decided, because of the time of day, they should make camp amongst the stones and continue on their way in the morning. The three men made camp, started a fire, and cooked their dinner. As they ate, an old man with a long white beard and a tall pointed hat emerged as if from thin air in the midst of them. Startled, the three men tried to reach for their weapons, but the man raised his staff slightly and none of them could move. "Do not try to attack me," the old man warned. "I am only here to give you a gift. My name is Merlin, and since you have stumbled upon this sacred place, I would like to give you something." Merlin, the old man, then waved his hand, and there appeared amongst the belongings of the three men riches beyond measure. "Now tell me," Merlin continued, "what will you do if I give you riches beyond measure? Will you grab your weapons and kill me?" The first man spoke up. "No, Merlin, sir, I will not kill you. I will take your gift and continue on my journey." Merlin waved his hand, and the man could move. He ran over to his riches, and then he left his weapons. The second man then spoke up, and he repeated the statements of the first. Again, Merlin waved his hand, and the second man ran over to the riches. Merlin then looked at the third man, who was one of my ancient ancestors, no less, and repeated the question. "Well," the third man said, "if you gave me riches beyond measure, I would give it back. And I would first ask you, what is it that you want from me before I accepted anything from you? You are a strange man in a strange land." Merlin waved his hand, and the third man could move again. He then said, "Only the wisest are allowed in this place. Indeed, what good is it to gain the whole world?" He paused mid-sentence, waved his staff, and immediately the very souls of the two men who had accepted the riches left their bodies and entered the staff of Merlin. "But lose their souls," Merlin finished, and then he vanished and left the third man alive with the riches beyond measure. So, the morning motivation of today is to gain the whole world, but lose your soul. Today, family, as you go on your journey called life, I want you to use every ounce of energy you have to achieve your dreams and become the person you were born to be. But as you do this, I want you to remain good. All money is not good, all deals are not beneficial, and all people are not who they appear to be. Your defense for this is your integrity. So remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you about the master of fear. That's right, the master of fear. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, three brothers were talking about how much they disliked their father's profession of a farmer. The eldest son said, "I do not want to be a farmer. I want to be a soldier. However, I am afraid that I might fail at being a soldier, so I will become a farmer like our father." The middle son said, "I do not want to be a farmer. I want to be a blacksmith. However, I am afraid that I might fail at being a blacksmith, so I will become a farmer like our father." The youngest son said, "I do not want to be a farmer. I want to go to the farthest ends of the earth and see all there is for me to see. And like you, I am afraid that I might fail. However, I will still try." In time, the eldest and middle son became farmers, and the youngest son packed his bags and headed in the direction of the setting sun. With every new land he reached, he learned as much as he could about the people there, treated them fairly and righteously, and he would then write down in his books what he learned and how he found the place. The youngest son, who was one of my very own ancestors, no less, traveled to land after land until he reached a great body of water. Recalling things he had learned along the way, he built a boat, crossed the waters, and after several months, and documented his travels. He met more people in this new land and he continued to follow the setting sun. Many years passed, and the youngest son, through his travels, amassed great wealth, wisdom beyond measure, and hundreds of books documenting his journey. One year, back home, the father, along with the eldest and middle son, was suffering from a drought. The crops had failed for several years, and the family was near death. As they suffered, the youngest son came approaching from the east. He saved them from their certain debt and told them about his travels. They were all astonished, even the youngest son, that his journey had brought him back home. The eldest and middle son said, "Our youngest brother traveled the entire earth. He is indeed a man with no fear." The youngest son said, "Only a madman has no fear. I merely became the master of my fear." And so, the morning motivation of today is the master of fear. So many times in life, we allow fear to hold us back. Instead of following our hearts, we choose instead to do that which seems safe and comfortable, not knowing that many times we are being led into our blessings so that we can become a blessing to others. So today, family, I want you to cast your fears aside and do whatever it is that your heart feels compelled to do. Do it with all of your might. And once you make it to the top of your personal mountain, be sure to return to where you started and show others how you became the master of fear. And I know that you can do this. Why? Because you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about the darkest depths of the mind. That's right, the darkest depths of the mind. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, there was a young girl who had a very foul mouth. Her mother would always encourage her to use good speech, and she would often tell her about cursed demons in the hopes she would correct how she spoke. The cursed demons, the mother told her, were demons whose names included all of the foul things that the daughter would say. "You are calling to them, my daughter, and they do not like being called. If they decide to come to you, they will bring along with them all of the curses you are speaking." The young girl ignored her mother, and her speech did not improve. In fact, it got worse. I should know, this girl was one of my ancestors, no less. One day, as the mother had warned, a family of cursed demons grew tired of listening to the girl call their names, and they responded, and they came to take up residence within her mind. "Since this young girl loves our name so much," the head cursed demon said, "and since she continues to bother us by calling out to us day and night, let us make our names all that she can think about." At once, and in unison, the family of cursed demons from the darkest depths of the young girl's mind began to call out their wretched names as loud as they could. "I hate you," one screeched. "You are worthless," yelled another. "No one loves you," someone shouted. "I wish I were dead. You do not deserve to be loved. You look disgusting. You are nothing." The young girl, who was sitting inside of her hut when the cursed demons began to cry out, dropped down to her knees and pressed the palms of her hands to her temples. "I am nothing," the young girl said about herself. "I look disgusting. I do not deserve to be loved. I am worthless. I wish I were dead." And from that day on, the young girl began to descend into a very dark place. And the older she got, the more she hated herself. The young girl's mother, after watching her daughter's torment for several years, learned of a magic way in which she could get the cursed demons out of her daughter's mind. "You are awesome," the mother told her daughter. "You are amazing. You are wonderful. And you are great. And you, my child, are going to change the world." The mother repeated this phrase day in and day out until the blessed spirits, who heard the mother calling their names, showed up, entered the darkest depths of the young girl's mind, and kicked out all of the cursed demons. And the girl learned once again how to love herself. And so, the morning motivation of today is the darkest depths of the mind. Beware, family, of what type of energy you invite into your mind. So many of us become consumed with our hate for others, and our obsession descends us into a state of madness, into which the thoughts we begin to have about ourselves no longer sound like they are our own thoughts. In life, you sometimes have mental battles, and you will undoubtedly lose at times. But continue to fight, continue to push, and continue to press. And do not give in to the negative thoughts in the darkest depths of your mind. And I know you can do this, family. Why? Because you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you about the mind reader. That's right, the mind reader. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, in a city which sat at the foot of a mighty mountain, 3 midwives were busy at their craft helping a new mother to give birth. As they worked, several curious things took place. One curious occurrence was a wolf, which began to howl from off in the distance at the very same time as the child's head crowned and the new mother cried out. Also, when the child was born, the 3 midwives all claimed to have seen a veil over her face. This veil, along with the howling wolf, was a sign from the gods that the child was special and she would have a stronger connection to the powers of the spirit world than normal. There are many gifts, the midwife said, so you must wait for hers to manifest on its own. But do not worry, when her gift shows itself, it will be easy to recognize. When the new mother left with her child, she told her husband all that took place, and the two of them, in complete amazement, wondered what the gift would be. One day, when the child was 2 years old, the mother was thinking about what type of soup she would cook for dinner, and her daughter said, out of nowhere, "Cook the soup with potatoes in it." The mother's jaw dropped when she realized her daughter had read her mind. She immediately told her husband, and the two of them rejoiced. "A mind reader," they exclaimed. "Our daughter is a mind reader." Several years passed, and the parents tried to help their daughter strengthen and control her gift. They created training exercises and tests, and every day the daughter would work to read minds. The daughter continued to come up short, and the parents could not figure out why her gift was no longer working, so they pushed her harder until the daughter refused to even try. The parents, confused, took the girl back to the 3 midwives and explained their problem. The head midwife said to the girl, "Child, what were you thinking about when you first read your mother's mind? How did you do it?" "How?" the girl repeated. "Every night, my mother does the same thing. She stands and thinks about which soup to make. I did not read her mind. I only read her habits. I am no mind reader." And so, the morning motivation of today is the mind reader. In life, we all have a gift, something special about ourselves. But sometimes we get caught up in the cycle of others, where they try to force us to display a gift which is not our own. If a fish were taught that his purpose was to fly and live in the trees, he has just been doomed to fail. And if a bird were taught that he should live in the sea, he would utterly fail to achieve this as well. And so it is with humans, the same thing. Some of you were prepared to go left, and others were prepared to go right. Follow your heart, and do not be hindered by the misunderstandings of others. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about the lottery ticket. That's right, the lottery ticket. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, somewhere in LaGrange, Texas, there was a young man who had a very bad attitude towards life. This man, who was one of my very own ancestors, no less, seemed to have no soul at all. He would rob, kill, or steal with no hesitation. One day, this young man was walking down the street when he saw a small old lady walking towards the store with a lottery ticket in her hand. Assuming she was headed to go cash in a winning ticket, he rushed over to take it. "Give me that, old woman," he said, snatching the ticket from her frail hand. The old woman stood in shock as the young man began to walk away. "Young man," she called, still in shock, "will you really take what is mine as if it is yours? Will you really do such wickedness?" "I will, and I have," the young man said, "and if you bother me again, I will do much more wickedness than that." The old woman gestured her hand as if to submit, and the young man turned to walk away. Then, under her breath, she said, "This day, young man, you will learn to do good." The young man cashed the lottery ticket and walked out of the store. Once outside, he encountered a man who he wanted to beat and rob. The young man raised his hand to strike the man, and when he did, he was instantly back inside of the store cashing the lottery ticket. Confused, he took his money and ran out of the store. Seeing the old woman, he ran towards her, asking her what she had done. She explained that since he took her lottery ticket, he was cursed to continue going back in time every time he attempted to do wickedness. The young man, angered by this, swung to hit the old woman, and instantly he was back in the store cashing the lottery ticket. The young man tried perhaps 1,000 attempts to last longer than that one day without being wicked, and he failed every time. Finally, fully broken, the young man cashed the lottery ticket, walked out of the store, and gave the money to the old woman. At that moment, the curse was broken, and the young man was no longer wicked. And so, the morning motivation of today is the lottery ticket. Sometimes our journey in life has not been problem-free. Some of us, most of us, dare I say all of us, have done things, said things, and thought things that, if we're being honest, were not good, right, nor acceptable. There is no shame in those things which taught us and made us who we are. However, there are some behaviors which we must let die. Do not get caught in a cycle of wickedness. You can break free at any moment. How? By simply doing that which is good. And I know that you can do this. Why? Because you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about the paradigm shift. That's right, the paradigm shift. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, in a land which has since been destroyed by an enormous asteroid, there lived three brothers who were so full of themselves that they paid little to no attention to those around them. They felt entitled, set apart, and better than others. These brothers had a rich and powerful father who taught them to be ruthless in life and in business. Money, the father told them daily, is more important than men. One day, these three brothers were walking through the forest when they stumbled upon a large tree with what seemed to be a large full-length mirror attached to it. Intrigued by the sight, the three brothers went over to inspect the tree. "Look," one brother said, "the mirror is actually growing from the tree." In complete awe and amazement, the brothers ran their hands along the glass in the tree trunk, trying to see how a mirror could grow from a tree. As they inspected this wonder, they noticed in the mirror three young boys walking towards them. Thinking the three young boys were actually behind them, the three brothers turned around. Seeing no one, they turned their gaze back to the mirror, and they realized that the three young boys were somehow approaching them from inside of the mirror, and they stood and stared in wonder. After a moment, the three boys reached the three brothers, and one of them said, "We have been trapped in this prison by our wicked and cruel father since our birth. Can you break this glass and free us, please?" The three brothers replied, "What will you give us if we free you? We will not free you for free. We have nothing but our bodies and our lives," the three young boys pointed out. "We have nothing else to give." The three brothers whispered amongst themselves for a while. "Very well. If you give us the bodies and lives of two of you, we will break the glass and one of you may go free." The jaws of the three boys dropped. They couldn't believe their ears. Would you really take two of us? They asked, bewildered. You could easily break the glass with that stick. Shrugging their shoulders, the three brothers turned to walk away. Horrified, the three boys called out, Wait, we agree. If you break the glass and free us, you may have the bodies and lives of two of us. Smiling, the three brothers turned back, picked up the stick, and promptly smashed the glass. As soon as the three boys stepped through the broken glass, two of the brothers and two of the young boys fell dead. Gasping, the one brother left alive asked what happened. I am you, the one boy left alive said, and my two brothers were your two brothers. Our Father placed us here with his teachings about life. You all had a chance to free us from this prison, but instead, you've done this. No, the one brother cried out. And so, the morning motivation of today is the paradigm shift. Many of us are locked inside of mental prisons placed on us by others. And we think that the way out of our condition is by sinking deeper into the unproductive mindset. When really, to change your reality, you must change how you think and change how you behave. Do that which is good, and you can easily shift your entire paradigm. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about I saw you coming a mile away. That's right, I saw you coming a mile away. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, in the land that we call Egypt today, a mighty ruler, Pharaoh Ur-Sema-Ad-Ra-Septep-en-Ra, sat on the throne. The dynasty to which he belonged was the longest lasting dynasty on record. The Pharaoh's family, it was claimed, had sat on the throne for over 1,500 years. One day, as Pharaoh sat inside of the court of the palace of Memphis, from which he conducted his daily business, a Nubian sorcerer came walking in. This Nubian sorcerer wore no shirt. He only had a sealed book strapped to his chest. I have come from Nubia, the sorcerer said. I am here to bring shame to the land of Egypt. Call all of your wise men, priests, and magicians. Ask them to proclaim what is written within this book on my chest without opening it. If they cannot, I will take their shame with me back to Nubia. Pharaoh looked at the sorcerer and said, Egypt's shame has not gone down to Nubia in over 1,500 years, and it will not happen while I rule. Pharaoh called all of his wise men, priests, and magicians, and presented them with the task of reading the book. And when he did, they all said the task was impossible. A young boy, however, the son of a priest, heard them talking. I can read the book without opening it, he proclaimed. The first line reads, a long time ago, in this very land, a great injustice was done. Then, turning to the sorcerer, the young boy asked, am I correct? Looking bewildered, the Nubian sorcerer replied, yes. Very well, said the boy. The book is about an event that took place in Egypt 1,500 years ago, during the reign of the man who founded this very dynasty, Pharaoh Menk-Pre-Seamun. One day, a Nubian sorcerer entered the court of the palace and used his magic to attack those within. This sorcerer was powerful, and he set a trap with his magic that would kill Pharaoh Menk-Pre-Seamun with fire. He worked his craft and sprung his trap, but he was stopped at the last minute, just before Pharaoh was killed. The sorcerer was bound up by a spell and banished to the outer realms for 1,500 years. And you, the boy said, are that sorcerer who has come back to Egypt for your revenge. His true intentions exposed, the Nubian sorcerer tried to cast a spell over Pharaoh Ur-Sema-Ad-Ra, but he was paralyzed by a powerful magic spell. You have failed again, the young boy said, working his craft. You are indeed the sorcerer from long ago, and I am indeed the one from back then who bound you up. I knew your hate would bring you back. I saw you coming a mile away. And so, the morning motivation of today is, I saw you coming a mile away. Although there may be people plotting on your downfall, and even though those people have been plotting for years, they have already been defeated. Your victory has already been secured. Do not go through life being afraid of challenging situations and difficult trials. Instead, engage them head on. As long as you know the storm is on its way, you can take the necessary precautions to properly prepare. You can store up food, water, and medicine in anticipation of it. Likewise, if you know that your haters are going to come for you and you can clearly see them coming from a mile away, prepare for them and defeat them whenever they make their intentions known. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels. And today I'm going to tell you guys about the man who stole God's apple. That's right, the man who stole God's apple. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, deep within a jungle which no longer exists, two men were standing in their village talking when one of the men made a bold statement. I am tired of living like this, he proclaimed. I am tired of living poor. I will therefore go into the garden of God and steal one of his golden apples. Then I will be rich and all of my problems will go away. The friend, who was one of my ancestors no less, tried to talk him out of it, but to no avail. The man had his heart set on risking life and limb to steal the golden apple. It was said by the elders of the village about the golden apples in God's garden that if you were to cut them in half, each half would soon become a full apple again. And it was said that any man who wished to become rich need only steal one little apple from God. The man traveled the path which the old stories describe, and finding the garden of God, he convinced the serpent to help him steal an apple. The serpent distracted the guardians of the garden, and the man quickly made off with one of the God's golden apples. Once he had returned to the village with his prize, the serpent betrayed him and told God what was done. Angered, God sent his guardians to seize the man and bring him back. Then, as a punishment for his crime, he was tied to a large tree, and every day God would send a serpent to bite the man and inject lethal poison into his veins. The man would seize up and suffer greatly for the entire day, and then he would be restored to full health at night. Then, the next day, the serpent would return and bite him again, and his torment would begin anew. The man suffered like this for many years until a hero named Thomas, who was on a mission to complete several trials, was given the task of acquiring one of the golden apples from the God's garden. In order to do this, the hero Thomas had to save the man from his eternal torment so that he might learn how he stole the apple. So the man was saved from his punishment for stealing God's golden apple, and he never again tried to improve his circumstances through theft. And so, the morning motivation of today is the man who stole God's apple. I know, family, that times can be hard, and you may be struggling to survive. And in order to change your situation, you must get up and fight every day. But do not become the thing that we all are fighting against. Do not do evil in order to receive good. You will eventually receive evil for your evil. Instead, continue to do good. And continue to only do those things which have a righteous justification, and assist those to excel who are helping you to get by. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great, and you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still allowed to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about where has tomorrow gone? That's right, where has tomorrow gone? But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, in the area of the earth that we now call Czechoslovakia today, there lived a woman who loved to sing and dance. Every day, without fail, this woman would sing and dance regardless of what she was doing when she felt the urge. This woman had a daughter who would also sing and dance as soon as she learned to walk and talk. The daughter would spend every day with the woman, and whenever the woman would begin to hum and move, her daughter would follow suit. By the time the daughter reached 10 years old, it seemed to be a tradition of the woman and her daughter to sing and dance together. And every night, whenever the daughter was laid down to sleep, she would ask her mother the same thing. "When will we sing and dance together again, mother?" she'd ask, with eyes full of love and fatigue. "Tomorrow, my sweetness," the mother would respond. "We'll do it again tomorrow." One day, as the mother went about her duties in her home, her heart, which was not as strong as the heart of others, gave out. The woman fell to the ground and grabbed her chest, and no matter how hard she fought to get up, she was not able to. Her heart just would not start beating again. In the days following the woman's transition into the realm of the ancestors, the daughter was hit with a feeling of grief so strong it quite literally broke her down to her knees. In the daughter's mind, life had lost all meaning. For the first time in her life, she wanted to neither sing nor dance. One night, as the daughter slept, she dreamt that she was sitting in a field and crying. "Why are you crying?" a voice inside the dream asked. "Because," the daughter replied, "for me, it is like life stands still, and tomorrow has ceased to come. Indeed, I cannot move forward with my life until I sing and dance with my mother again." "Daughter," the woman who had passed away called out, "it is me, your mother. I am surely in your dream with you. I have come to comfort you and end your grief." The daughter looked up and saw her mother, and her heart was glad. The two of them sang and danced, and when the daughter woke up, she felt like tomorrow had finally begun to come again. And so, the morning motivation of today is, where has tomorrow gone? There are things that we will face in life that will quite literally knock all of the air out of our lungs. And you can be hit with a situation that is so emotionally taxing that you grow tired of even waking up in the morning. You may feel as if tomorrow will never come again. However, today, family, I want you to realize that no matter what it is you are going through, you have enough strength and resolve within yourself to overcome the hard times if you would just dig deep and keep pushing. There is a specific purpose for which you came to this earth, and I am trying to help you remember what that is and motivate you to achieve it. So today, know that you are not alone in this life, nor are you alone in the next. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still allowed to say it, family. I'm out. Good morning. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I wish I had time to sit here and play more, but unfortunately I have to get ready and go to work. So but you guys, you see the website that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Anybody that's been following me, you guys know that I'm ambitiously endeavoring to write 365 short motivational stories in 365 days. And I'm doing this as part of my continued effort to break free from working a job for someone else and to begin to support myself and my family off writing my books. That's the goal, that's the dream, that's the ambition, that's the hope, to write full time and support myself off writing my books. I do have 7 books out, and you can go to the website that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, www.dandyandbigherm.com, and you can read the synopsis of all 7 of my books, 3 of which are compilations of these short motivational stories that I was just playing. Each one of volume 1, 2, and 3 of Morning Motivation. Let me say it like this: 3 of my books are titled Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, volume 1, 2, and 3. Each one of those books are a compilation of 30 short stories apiece. Each one of those books can be found at the website, and all of my other books can be found at the website as well. If you just feel inspired and motivated by the platform and by the energy, the positive energy that I'm trying to put out into the world, and if these videos help you, if the information that I'm sharing helps you to become the best version of yourself, you can always purchase a book, or you can donate to the platform to support the platform at $The Real Bookworm Cash App. because we're trying to change the world. We're trying to change the world, and we can't do that alone, family. So thank you guys for tuning in to this marathon of motivation. I have to get out of here. Hopefully this will be my last year working. In 2024, I will be able to write full time. And you can help me reach that goal by going to www.dandyandbigherm.com and purchasing a book by Matthew Daniels. Or you can donate to the platform by Cash App and $, The Real Bookworm. Thank you guys. Hotep, I'm out.